Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in. My name is Matt Sack. I'm with Feldmann Imports Mercedes-Benz, and today we're going to be talking about the all-new 2024 AMG EQE SUV. So behind us here, we have the all-new 2024 AMG EQE SUV. It is the first AMG in an SUV for all electric. A couple different things to talk about. Of course, being an AMG is performance-based electric vehicle. So standard horsepower on this vehicle is going to be right around 617 horsepower with 701 foot-pounds of torque. You can upgrade that with what we call the AMG Dynamics Plus package. That's going to give you 677 horsepower along with 738 foot-pounds of torque. So quite a bit of power there. With that power, that gives you about a 3.40 to 60. Range, of course, a big question that everyone always has to ask, being a little bit more AMG driven, performance driven, is a little bit lower on the range compared to the regular variant at 235. So that's the full expected range. Now, of course, that can vary depending on how we drive the vehicle. If we get on the pedal, step on the gas a little bit more, that of course is going to vary. A couple other key things to talk about that are exciting about this vehicle. Mercedes actually offers a 2-year, 20,000 mile service complimentary. So your 2 first services or first 20,000 miles are covered by Mercedes-Benz completely. Beyond that, they also offer a 2-year, 30-minute DC fast charging complimentary charging package. So ultimately what that means with superchargers, in specific Electrify America, you can actually get up to 30 minutes of free charge, which can typically take you from about 10 to 80%. So pretty nice. You get the 2 years free maintenance, and then of course also get the 2 years free of the 30-minute DC fast charging as well. We're gonna go head over to the vehicle now, talk about some of the cool features on the exterior of the vehicle, all right? All right, now so we're gonna talk about some of the AMG specific aspects on the exterior of the vehicle. So first and foremost, one of the sexiest parts of this vehicle is gonna be the AMG Louvered Grill. As you can see there, not quite as announced as some of our gas variants, but are trying to replicate, of course, what AMG is. So very cool to see the Louvered Grill up in the front end there. One other important thing to talk about too is our headlights. I know, headlights, right? Digital LED headlights, actually. By far, probably one of the most impressive headlights out in the market to date. Each one of these headlights actually has 1.4 million pixels in it. The camera system actually uses data from not only the camera system, but also the radar system and the navigation system. So what it's constantly doing is scanning different things, giving you the right amount of light, and also having that curve illumination, much more and beyond that. So you can also get it to the point where your blind spot that you see in the mirror, the triangle that you're used to seeing for nighttime driving, if someone happened to be in your blind spot, that headlight can literally display that same triangle that you see in your side mirror. Another scenario, let's say we're on a road that's got construction going on. We can't necessarily see the lines. Those headlights can literally create a lane for you to keep you in the road in the right area, of course. One other key piece to talk about that I think is really awesome is going to be the AMG badging on the hood. Just really nice to see that, even with being electric vehicles, seeing the AMG specific hood emblem, just a really nice finish to the vehicle. And here I'm going to show you our hands-free access. So if we have our hands full, need to of course open or close the rear hatch, we have the option to do so. Only thing required is that we have our key on us. But again, just a quick soccer kick here. Again, that's called our hands-free access. All right guys, now we're in the interior. So I'm going to go over all the great features in this AMG EQE SUV. All right, so inside the AMG EQ SUV, a lot to talk about. Start with what's very obvious, of course. Our OLED Hyperscreen. So as we can see here, really 3 different place points is one sheet of glass, but we have our driver interface here, we have our entertainment interface, and we also have a passenger interface. So what's really cool about the passenger interface is they can really take on just about anything that I have access to here. So they can take on settings, comfort settings, really anything that the driver has access to. Now, of course, one thing they can't do is, of course, configure different things for the driver while driving. But beyond that, they have access to just about everything else that the driver has access to. As we can see here, everything's very vibrant. We have a lot of the important things right where we need them. Of course, the maps is what we have overtaking a majority of the screen. But we also notice too, in that entertainment screen, we also have our radio settings. We have devices so we can connect our phone either via Bluetooth or Apple CarPlay and Android Auto compatibility. One thing to note that Apple CarPlay and Android Auto compatibility is wireless, so there's no longer a wired connection. We also can have other specific things that we want to see on there as well. We can actually customize that. As of right now, it's just introduction, zero layer. Zero layer actually happens to be an option for Mercedes that just generates our favorites for us. So based off of the habits, the things that we use within the vehicle, it can actually track that. They call it zero layer. And then of course, always gonna have your climate control down here as well. So as we can see here, currently off, but we can actually configure that all from this screen here as well, along with the climate menu. So as far as the screen goes, again, you're gonna have a lot of different options as far as settings, comfort. So for our massage chairs, our radio settings, AMG performance. So if we go into something like this here, we can of course get things like our energy flow, and really just gonna go over really AMG specific options between the drive, vehicle, the e-motor and whatnot. One important thing also to talk about too with the navigation, we have what's called electric intelligence. Ultimately what this navigation system is doing while we're out driving is it's constantly tracking where we're at for mileage, our range, how many miles we have left, tracking stations that we can charge at. Ultimately makes it impossible for you to run out of charge. It's gonna give you suggestions on where you should stop, how far you can go based off of where you're driving or how fast you're driving as well. So one key thing to piece in, a lot of people get, range anxiety and, think about the idea of electric and what do I do about a charger? How am I gonna know where they're all at? And the electric intelligence navigation that we have here from Mercedes-Benz really takes the stress away from you. With doing that tracking and of course letting you know where the open stations are to go get a charge. Over to the steering wheel, very exciting steering wheel here. So everything is really touch sensitive, our volume settings down to being able to configure different things on either side of the screen. So again, right side will of course configure to the right side screen. Our left side will be for our driver interface over here. And we can configure different things. There's different displays, so you can do classic. Right now I have it in super sport, just being an AMG of course. I like to see the options that we have here. So down below we also have our drive units, our flat bottom steering wheel, which everyone loves. So glad to see that they carry that over with the electric. But down here we have our drive units. So really performance based, just an option where we don't have to go to our dynamic select over here. We can actually configure different things. So I can configure different traction control off. I can configure different suspensions. So as we can see here, I can make a quick click there while on the fly to sport suspension, back to sport plus. Same thing with our AMG dynamics, same idea, our drive mode available. And then all the way over to the right side actually is just a quick way to configure our dynamic select mode, whether that be comfort, which is of course the standard. We can go over to individual, our slippery, sport, sport plus. Just a really easy and fast way without having to take our hand off the steering wheel. Really just the ultimate performance piece added to that steering wheel. Beyond that, a couple of standard features in this vehicle that we could see, our panorama roof. The Hyperscreen is in fact a standard on this vehicle as well. Heads-up display, heated front seats of course. Parking package gonna be another standard feature. One thing to actually show you here, our parking cameras are by far next level. Now I have both doors open here currently here, but I'll make sure we get some good footage of this here. But really next level when it comes down to what you can do with our cameras. Not only can it actively park itself, parallel park into a parking spot, pull itself out of a parking spot, but really when we talk about the camera system here, it really is next level with what we can see. I'm on the show floor of our dealership right now. I have the camera facing outside the door and I can literally see my pre-owned cars out on the lot. I mean, I can maybe even zoom in and possibly see a number on the plate. So one thing to really point out, Mercedes-Benz really crushed it with the camera system. To date, I really haven't seen anything quite as impressive as this camera system. All right, everyone, thanks so much for spending a little extra time with me today to learn a little bit more about the 2024 EQE AMG SUV. I plan on doing plenty more of these videos. Again, thank you guys so much. My name is Matt Sack. Again, I'm with Feldmann Imports Mercedes-Benz. I would love to help you out, even if it's answering questions, doing a test drive, whatever the case might be. Love to help in any way possible. Please feel free to also like and subscribe. Thank you so much again.